Hey, it's the Leah Renee podcast. Look at the wig. I got this, a couple months ago, maybe. What do you think? It's kind of giving platinum blonde Claudia Winkleman. If you're listening, you can't see the glorious wig that I have. It's kind of fun to be a blonde. I grew up in Southern California and I always wanted to be blonde. This is episode 18. Sorry if you are listening instead of watching and missing out on this wig. I decided to go to video podcasts because I was putting them on YouTube. Nobody's really watching them because it's just a blank screen. So you get to look at my face. Just to switch things up, I wear a different wig for every episode. I decided I'm not going to wear wigs when I'm on someone else's podcast. But if I have someone on mine, fair game, because this is my house. My last solo podcast, I talked a little bit about Cal Newport and digital minimalism and 5 things that you can do to basically reclaim your brain and your attention. And one of them is reading. So I finished the Byron Katie book, A Mind at Home with Itself. I gotta say, if you have a proclivity toward woo-woo, all one, like if you use Dr. Bronner soap, if you're a weirdo, if you drink kombucha, if you're a white person who owns huaraches or chacos, if you own incense whose smell is actually labeled positive vibes, you might like the book. Generally speaking, for a mainstream audience, I think it might be a little bit much. The Buddhism stuff, the all one, the everything is love, it's a pretty insane book. She tells a story in there about how someone wanted to buy the little guest house that she was selling, but they couldn't afford it. And she walked them through her house and they looked around. They're like, wow, I wished I lived here. Hey, will you give us your house? And she was like, okay. And just gave 2 random strangers her house. So it's a bit much for the average person. The positivity probably feels a bit over the top. In fact, I saw this video and I just kept thinking, this is what Byron Katie's book is like. This is a guy who's coming off anesthesia. I think he had his wisdom teeth removed or something. And I'm not lying when I say it absolutely sounded like a passage from A Mind at Home with Itself.
No?
Yeah.
No way.
Remember, Mom and Dad bought it for you.
I have a mom? Oh my god.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Who am I? I'm your dad.
Oh my god.
You know you have 2 sisters, too.
Oh my god. Where are they?
Well, they're at work.
Oh
They gotta
god.
work.
I can't believe I have sisters.
And you have a dog.
Oh
Isn't that cool? He's a big dog.
my god, I love big dogs.
Do you remember his name?
What's his name?
His name is Bane.
Oh my god, just like Batman. Oh my god. Oh my god, my life is perfect. Oh.
So I finished that, and because I've been punching up my jokes a lot, I am revisiting this incredible book, Finding Your Comic Genius by Adam Bloom. I love this book. If you're not a comedian, it probably won't make much sense. There certainly are some passages that you would find relatable, but it has very specific, detailed passages about the different kind of rooms that you're in, why jokes work or why they don't. It's incredible, and I'm using it alongside the writing of my new hour. So if you are a comedian watching this, I do recommend it. If you are not a comedian, I'm sorry. I guess you had a great upbringing. You were probably breastfed. Oh, did you grow up in a home with 2 parents? No, I'm just kidding. But a lot of comedians come from broken homes. A follow-up to a couple of the other things that I've been doing, landlining. Do you remember this? Landlining is the idea that you plug in your phone, leave it in a spot just like it's a landline. So when you need to use your phone, you have to go upstairs, send a text, check whatever, and then leave it. And it's been huge. It's been really, really helpful. I find that my AirPods can reach anywhere in the house. because I live in a small house, because I believe in small house living. I also don't think I could afford a bigger house in the city. I'm able to listen to podcasts anywhere in the house and leave my phone all the way upstairs. It's been great. Highly recommend landlining. You can still use your phone. You just have to stand up while you're doing it, and you're much less likely to doom scroll and check a bunch of stuff. So, hot tip to reclaim your attention. Landline your phone. Sorry this podcast tends to be so advicey, but that's sort of my vibe. I'm not a life coach, never had a desire to be one, but boy, will I dispense advice. Next piece of advice. Have I talked about artist dates? Julia Cameron in The Artist's Way talks about this. And even though I haven't done them consistently, I do like to treat myself to something simple, maybe once a week. It doesn't always have to be buying something. Sometimes it's just stopping in a park and enjoying the blooming flowers. Just sort of this reminder to be by yourself and to enjoy the moment that you're in. A traditional artist date could be taking yourself to a concert or a coffee shop or buying yourself some flowers, but it really could be anything. It's the idea that it's nice to spend time with yourself. So yesterday I was out on a walk, one of my clarity walks, another one of Cal Newport's tips, and I wandered into a bookstore that I've actually considered for a comedy venue. I wandered around, looked at different things, and I realized bookstores make me want to read so much. There's so many interesting book titles. I just want to stick my hand out on the book and suck out all of its knowledge and energy. And then I remember, no, you've got to sit page by page and get all of it out. I think that's why, obviously, AI summaries are very popular, but there's something about reading each page. And that was another one of the 5 tips, to read every day. While I was there, I found this book that was exactly the kind of thing that I was looking for. I really like slang and idiomatic phrases, but it seems like the only way to find out what these phrases are to be actually consuming the media or being around people who use this slang. How else would you learn slang? I don't want to spend hundreds of hours on YouTube in little subgroups to learn in-group lingo. And so I found this little gem. Partridge's Concise Dictionary of Slang and Unconventional English. This book has a lot of old-timey phrases from England, Australia, some from the States, a lot of it linked to World War I, World War II. I got it because I love old-timey movies where they use words like, "You got moxie, kid." I think it's so delightful when comedians sprinkle in old-timey words that we don't normally hear. It's fun, it's whimsical. So I got this book just to browse through it and find funny phrases. Let's open it up and just take a peek and see what we find. Okay, this one says, "How are you diddling?" It's a variation of "How are you?" heard in the late 70s. I hate to break it to you, but how are you diddling? Not a pro these days. Oh, hey, I actually know this one. Have you ever heard the phrase, "a rough row to hoe"? I heard that phrase when I was a missionary in my 20s. It's a tough time of it, difficult time, a hard time, as in, I don't know if he's going to make it. He's got a pretty rough row to hoe. That's actually one that I knew. Thank you, Mormonism. Yeah, a lot of these I wonder if they're common in England. Like, for example, claptrap. Any guesses what claptrap is? According to this, much talk, idle chatter, nonsense, and windbaggery. Quite different than a thirst trap. Am I a claptrap? And then there's the word clapped. Do you know what clapped means? Utterly exhausted. It's from the 70s. I've really wanted to play with words more in my comedy, so I thought that book might be a fun source of inspiration to switch things up. Spice up my comedy a little bit, since I still haven't committed to yes or no ever wearing wigs on stage. I'm not going to make this podcast episode too long because I've kind of been overdoing it in the podcast department. In the last week, I think I've been on 4 podcasts. I feel like a podcast whore. I'm a podcast hoe. Actually, I'm a podcast fairy. I learned that Isn't that weird? Ferry, Ferry, was a term used for a promiscuous woman. But the term fairy, Fairy, was a derogatory term for, I think, exclusively men in the LGBTQ community. It's one of those situations where you have to see the spelling of it. But yeah, I'm not going to tell people I'm a fairy. I'm not sure if people want hour-long episodes of me rambling on. I know people are listening, but they're not really giving me any feedback. So is it really worth my time to make these long A episodes, whereas a 15-minute one would have been absolutely fine? Okay, I will wrap up by sharing a few things. One, I got invited to be in the Saratoga Comedy Festival in Saratoga, New York this September, so that's very exciting. There are also a couple of other festivals I'm waiting to hear back from, but I love a festival. It's great to hang out with other comedians, visit a different part of the country or part of the world, and do comedy outside of a club setting, which I actually like as well. The day that this comes out, I will be hosting Comedy All-Stars at Punchline. If you happen to see this on the morning of June 5th, come to Punchline at 9:45 p.m. I will be there, not in this wig. Oh, I didn't bring up my shirt. Again, I am sorry if you're listening to this, but I got a lot of compliments on this shirt. Here, let's see if I can. I bought a bulky denim shirt, cut it in half, bleached one side of it, then dyed it, then sewed it back together. And I've got a lot of compliments on this. I feel like one of the cool kids. I can't believe this episode is so short, but I don't want it to be a claptrap, if you know what I mean. Thanks for listening to the shortest episode I've ever had of my podcast. If I get any feedback from anyone about what they do or don't like about this podcast, I will make adjustments. But right now, I am flying blind. Seriously, do y'all want me to do a whole episode just about funny phrases that I found in this book? Like, listen to this, muttons. In such phrases as "to the muttons again," or the more general, "let us return to our muttons," let us get back to the subject under discussion. When we speak of something being our muttons or a person's muttons, we mean that we regard it with particular favor, that we like it especially well. Guess where this mutton phrase comes from? You guessed it, New Zealand. Yeah. Do I have any listeners in New Zealand? Have you ever said, let's return to our muttons? I'm going to have to ask my friend Ray O'Leary if he's ever talked about sheep in this way. This is what I'm talking about. These idiomatic phrases are just the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, here's another one. Mushed up. Guess what mushed up means? Well dressed. This is circa 1933. Man, this was a short episode. I hope you liked it, and I hope you have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, or middle of the night, whenever you're listening to this. Thank you for listening to the Leah Renee podcast. If you'd like to help me grow the old-fashioned way, but without having to bow to the likes of social media, visit my website, leahrenee.co. And as always,
Go to bed early, you doofus.